Hello, I'm Sarah and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review what I think are the best Atlantic beaches in Florida. Now, I do live in Central Florida and I personally prefer the Atlantic side, but that's just because I like going to the beach and having waves, and then maybe the next day it's completely calm, and I don't know, it's just nice and full of variety. Our beaches also get warm in the summer, but not unbearably warm and like a hot bath. And just in general, I think I'm partial to the Atlantic Ocean. But that's not to say that the Gulf isn't nice and has its advantages as well, but I love the Atlantic side. So I'm gonna give you just some of my favorite little beaches along the coast of the Atlantic, and we'll just start from the top and work our way down. Best is obviously subjective, but this is what I think. All right, so let's just start at the top near Jacksonville. And Ponte Vedra Beach is a great place for like renting a home and staying on the beach. There's a zoo in Jacksonville that has made some national lists, which I bookmarked, and I haven't made it yet, but there's some sort of like tiger exhibit, Land of the Tiger. Anyways, it's made some sort of list and I have marked it to check it out. But that zoo is about 35 minutes from Ponte Vedra Beach. So if you go with your family and you want to check out the zoo, then it's not a far distance away. Also, just below kind of the house area is Guana Reserve, which I think technically is part of Ponte Vedra, but it's kind of a beautiful, more natural area, and it would also be worth checking out. A little bit further south, of course, is St. Augustine, which is the oldest city in America, they say. And so if you like history or just kind of want to explore St. Augustine, close by is Vilano Beach, and that is going to be similar in sort of like the house rentals. I think it's a little bit quieter than if you were to go to kind of the southern area of St. Augustine Beach. If you want to camp, you can camp at Anastasia Park. I have done that before. It's a really nice little park, kind of on the beach. I don't think the camping is directly on the beach though, but it's within walking distance of the beach, and it's a beautiful park. Further south from here, which is kind of in between St. Augustine and Daytona, is what is probably one of my favorite beach towns in the Atlantic side, and that is Flagler Beach. I've driven sometimes just to go up there during the winter and like grab a coffee or an acai bowl and then go on a nature walk somewhere, because it's just so cute. It's like this cute little sleepy beach town. Now, if you were wanting a house directly on the beach, this isn't going to be the place because they don't have anything directly on the beach, which is great. That means there's no obnoxious condominiums, there's no tall buildings, there's A1A Road and the beach. So it's absolutely beautiful. You can stay kind of on the other side of A1A and overlook the water, but you won't be directly on the beach. So that is worth noting if that's important to you. But Flagler is just this cute, sleepy beach town with, good restaurants, coffee shop, acai juice place. Like, it's adorable and definitely worth checking out. It's not far from St. Augustine if you wanted to do a little quick trip up there. And it's not even that far from Daytona if you were interested in like seeing the Daytona 500 Speedway. So yeah, Flagler is probably one of my favorite places in kind of like the north central Florida area for a beach vacation. Absolutely adorable. Now, if you go further south, of course, Daytona, it's very touristy. If you want to be a little bit closer to Daytona, but have more of a Flagler vibe, you can check out Ormond. It's very similar to the Flagler vibe in terms of no tall condominiums, no houses directly on the beach either, but you can overlook the water. And you'll be a little bit closer to Daytona in that case if you are interested in some of the activities offered in Daytona. But just south of Daytona is New Smyrna Beach, and I got my longboard recently and I remembered Googling best like waves in Florida, because Florida is obviously not known for waves, right? And come to find out, New Smyrna and Daytona, by the way, are the closest beaches to me, and come to find out New Smyrna is the most consistent wave in Florida. So if you're interested in surfing at all or doing some lessons, New Smyrna is a great place for a beach vacation. If you would like to be on the beach, but a portion of the beach where people can't drive, just head further south. You'll still be in New Smyrna, but head towards kind of the Canaveral National Shore. And once you kind of head down that direction, you can't drive on the beach. It's too narrow, and there are houses on the beach that you can stay in and have a really wonderful vacation. In New Smyrna, there's Flagler Avenue, which is kind of like their beach town. It's right on the beach, really cute. And one great thing about New Smyrna is there's not really a lot of chain restaurants or places like that to go. It's more local eateries, which I prefer. So yeah, New Smyrna is a really great spot if you are looking for kind of surfing, but also family vibes. You can definitely find little areas where you tuck away and have more of that local feeling. All right, now the closest beach to Orlando is Cocoa Beach, but similar to Daytona, it's a little bit more touristy. So I actually recommend going a little bit south to like Melbourne Beach, which is a little bit sleepier and quieter than Cocoa Beach. And if you are in Central Florida area at all during the hottest part of our summer, which is July and August, definitely do a bioluminescence tour. It is phenomenal and absolutely worth doing. Just make sure it's really hot, like late July, August. Just be strategic about how you go about it. I think I go more into details in one of my videos, which I'll link above. Definitely do a bioluminescence tour if you're in the area. All right, and then if we go a little bit further south again, kind of halfway between Orlando Airport and Fort Lauderdale Airport is Fort Pierce. Now, I have not stayed in Fort Pierce, but it is adorable. I have driven through there kind of on my way back from South Florida when I visited my brother and his family. And it's just so cute. It just feels like such a little hometown vibe, and it's just beautiful. So you could fly into kind of either airport, and I think it's about 2.5 hour drive from Orlando or Fort Lauderdale, and it's just adorable little beach town vibe, super cute. And then of course, as you're getting into South Florida, you've got West Palm Beach, which has a ton of options to stay. You can go to Hollywood Beach, which has like the boardwalk, and you can rent a bike and go along there. And of course, you've got like Miami's South Beach. So there are a ton of options in Florida. I definitely prefer kind of the sleepier, quieter beach towns like a Flagler or Fort Pierce, and even like finding little tucked away places, New Smyrna area, for instance. So that is definitely my preference, but regardless of your preference, you're gonna find a place, whether you wanna be on the Gulf side or the Atlantic side. Florida has just hundreds and hundreds of miles of beaches. Now, I'm not including the Keys because the Keys is not a beach destination. It's good for boating, diving, snorkeling, those kind of experiences, but there's very minimal actual beaches in the Keys. So I'm not including it because that's kind of its own experience and not really a beach vacation. Well, I hope this video is helpful. If you thought so, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.